else here. Ladies, gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, señores y señoras. Now it is time for me to open a beer. It is time for us to enjoy some more 2v2 action here in the Competo 2v2 Cup, and we get two players playing against each other. Especially, apparently we got four players in teams of two playing against each other. We got Team Empire, where we saw a couple of games already, and we got Team TNT, where we got a couple of games, where we saw a couple of games already as well. So, prost, salute, na zdarovje, skol, kambaj, kipes, à votre santé. And here we go. It is Tripal and his ally Teresito playing Zerg Protoss here, spawning on the bottom left. Here on the top right we have our red Terran player Cubert with his teal colored ally Aristeo, so Zerg Terran against Zerg Protoss. The map is high orbit, and high orbit means we have one big ramp entrance, no in-base naturals, and we got a backdoor entrance with some destructible debris. So if you want to get in the base, either use the main entrance or use the backdoor entrance. But unlike for example Blistering Sands, if you want to move, if you are the attackant, if you want to move from one entrance to the other, you have to move quite a long path. So if you decide to attack, just stick to one base. Most of the times, if player want to expand here, for example, on the southern location, you have two options. Option number one is just go here to this right location. If you can build a base here, you can build a base there as well, so no big deal. Or even more popular, you can go for the gold expansion. Just get rid of the destructible debris, because if you control the gold, you can access the Zeldaga watchtower as well, and it's pretty easy because if you control this entrance, you pretty much control the ramp as well. The only thing you have to worry about is this backdoor entrance. Of course, you could sneak around with drops, etc. here. And now it is time for us to take a look at the production tab to see what is actually going on. So let's take a look at the harvest account. It is 16 drones, 15 drones, 19 SCVs, 18 probes, so this is pretty much the same. We see the Zerg player Aristeo going for the roach round pretty fast. Some more scouting units coming in here by in the base of Teresito, who is roach round is already finished, so it's just roach power all the way. What is Cubert doing? He likes to go for the Hellions most of the time. He's got the factory with the tech lab finished, and he's going for another barracks. Will it be siege mode or blue flame Hellions? And siege mode it is. No Stimpak, no concussor shell, and no combat shield coming up here by Cubert, but instead just Marinas and Marauders. And of course the Marauders against the Roaches is what you want to do. Those are pretty effective things to have. Of course, when you're playing Zerg Protoss, what can you do as well? You just can build a pylon here, send an overload here as well, just warp in some units on the high ground for the Protoss player, go for the main base of the Zerg, and then just bust in the front with zillions and billions and quadrillions of Zerglings because of this huge wide open ramp. Especially on high orbit, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Now those guys taking out the destructible debris, that is what I was talking about. On this map actually you can macro quite a bit, and speaking of expansions, there we see Teresito going for the Sanctuary. And if you're playing Zerg Protoss, the Zerg player going for the double expand here at that location and that location as well. On the other hand, the Protoss player going for the gold. Which is quite an effective way, and just assuming on what units you're going to build, you can ask, as a Protoss player, you can ask the Zerg player to give him some additional gas, because yes, if the Zerg player is able to maintain this and that expansion here, boom, you can mine gas from 6 harvesters. So let's take a look what each party is doing, and looks like yes, Aristeo and Cubert going for the gold themselves as well, but Aristeo not trying to go for a expansion here in this area. Of course, what you're gonna do as well is take out the rocks if you're confident enough, because if you control this area and you can access some vision here by accessing the Zelnaga Watchtower, but when you control this base, what's going on? You control this base as well. But of course the ramp is a little bit farther away from the rest of your forces, so this might not always be the best idea. So going for the gold at first, and then here for this for some bases on the bottom right, or like our friend Aristeo is going for pretty soon here on the top left, will be the more viable choice, because it's just a little bit more safe. And especially in 2v2 you have to watch out that you will not get caught off guard. And Tripal once again flying around with this observer, and this observer helped Tripal and Terracity out so much. And Cubation already with 4 siege tanks, and this is really the confidence right now, because Qubit, he's not even building his command center in the safety of the main base. No, he's just decided, okay, I can build it up here at the gold there. So this command center is finished. Now I'm a little bit curious why Tripal only now decided to go for the Nexus here. I mean, they cleared the destructible rocks out like 3 minutes ago, and Aristeo only now going for the hatchery here at the gold. But the observer of our friend Tripal was already flying around. He spotted the observer, and once again Aristeo going for the infestors. And the infestors, especially in 2v2, are such a powerful unit, just because of the fact that in 2v2 it is very easily it's very powerful just to play 2v1. And if you play 2v1, you can annihilate the forces of the one player so faster. And of course, infestors with the fungal growth lasting for quite a long time. This is a very efficient way to go for with the fungal growth. Now here are the siege tanks sieged up. This is the fungal growth on the Immortals. And now one siege tank is going down because of the fact that all those roaches were fungal growth by Aristeo. The siege tank could just deal with the rest, and this is the synergy. This is a fungal growth in addition to siege tanks, once again showing us how powerful this combination is if you're just careful with it. And because of the siege tanks, I mean, let's take a look at the kill. 4 kills, 3 kills, 1 kill, 0 kills. Okay, but in addition to all those roaches and the marines, the infestors just saved the day already, and it's just looking better and better here for our friends Aristeo and Qbert. I mean, let's take a look what Terracity decided to do, and his decision is to go for the Mutalisk. And I'm not sure if Mutalisk is a good decision. I mean, he knows about the infestors, and those infestors just need 20 more energy and then double fungal growth. And Marines still have a higher range than the Mutalisk. The Mutas range 3, the Marines range 5, and Aristeo here in the space of Terracity trying to do some damage. Meanwhile, Tripal has his first Colossus out, but yeah, the siege tanks have a wider range, a longer range, a greater range, a bigger range, a more huger range than the Colossi as well. So here's Terracito's Mutas now repelling those remaining forces, taking out the siege tanks as well. And nice job by Tripal, even though he sacrificed his Colossus there, especially this Immortal, the Mentor with the 6 kills, was able to tank quite some damage and be able just to... Oh, nice burrow by Aristeo. And with this Immortal taking the damage, they were able to take out all the siege tanks. But the big difference, of course, is that Qbert, he's got a gold mineral running. Meanwhile, no gold running at all. No other base here at all for our friend Tripal. And now, let's take a look. What are those Mutas doing? Just trying to catch some roaches here. Roaches might be going for some scouting action. What will they scout? Nothing too serious. I mean, no need to scout the Spire, because he actually knows about the Spire already. So at least nice choice by Terracity to go for the Satchery. And now it's up to the Mutas, to those 10 Mutas, to do as much damage as possible, because those guys can't really allow Aristeo and Qbert to macro so much, because they know what to and superior 2v2 army composition is. Here, for example, the infestors, in addition to the siege tanks, then just be annoying with the tunneling claw roaches. And one spore crawler is just not enough just go for the Spore Crawler, go for the Queen right away. He could kill so much units, but no, he was not confident enough to do the damage. At least the Glaive Worm attack of the Mutas could have done so much more damage already, but he was not. He was a little bit too scared by one Spore Crawler, and one Spore Crawler is not anything you need to be scared about. So here are the forces of Aristeo moving out. 4 Infestors. Those Infestors got enough energy for at least 5 fungal growth. Here are the Marines and the Marauders, and those 4 siege tanks coming in from the right. And this is very good. Sieging up already, even though it might be a little too late. Better safe than sorry. He does not want to lose some siege tanks unnecessarily. And now the Infestors moving out, maybe to catch some Mutas here off guard with the fungal growth, and it's not looking too good for the base here of Teresito. And there are the Immortals, the Stalkers, etc, etc. The Mutas can't do really anything right now, and now there's still Marines moving in, and this hatchery will go down right now. Is he aiming for another hatchery right away? Meanwhile, we have a big engagement here on the left side. Infestos fungal growthing the Zealots, so the Roaches won't be attacked and doing so much more damage. Meanwhile, the tanks in the background dealing more damage. Now Teresito was using all of his Mutas to attack the Marines, but the Marines were still, of course, way superior. And now Cubit is even expanding once again. Meanwhile, the Nexus for Triple just finished. And there we see the fungal growth on the Mutas. Mutas just taking more and more damage. And here are the Stimp Marines taking out the last remaining Mutas. All Mutas going down. And now Aristeo moving in with 13 more Roaches, taking out Colossus number 1, taking out Colossus number 2. And there we see the GG. So good job by Team Empire, and apparently I was not updating the center of the scoreboard. It is just 1-0 here right now for Team Empire.